Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Back again for another ranking video, and I'm going to do the Wrong Turn series. To be honest, man, I had a lot of fun with these movies. These movies are kind of like guilty pleasure, I guess. If you like Carnage Candy and you like Gora, you'll probably really love these movies. Um, So I'm gonna jump right into the ranking video with number six, and that's going to be Wrong Turn Six: Last Resort. Now I just got done watching this movie, and this one is probably the weakest. Even though I had a lot of fun with all of them, this one is a little weird. Now I know Wrong Turn just in general is weird, but this one just didn't make a whole lot of sense. It's basically in a hotel. Now I do like the hotel setting. I love creepy hotels. Um, but they find this relative of theirs and they bring him there to give him this hotel and the land, and then they come to find out he's from a family of inbreds, and he kind of embraces the family role. And this one's a little slow build. The carnage don't really start until like the last 30 or 40 minutes of the movie, and this is probably the weakest in the whole franchise. So, and the characters are decent. They're not the best, but still had fun with the movie. But it's still number six, bottom of the barrel in my opinion. Number five is going to be Wrong Turn Five, Bloodlines. This one takes place in a small town in West Virginia, and they have a carnival, like the basically like a hillbilly carnival, and everybody like dresses up like the cannibals, which is kind of odd. But this one also has, I guess, the father of the three inbreds, the cannibals, and this takes place mainly in a jail cell, basically. The characters in this are okay, but this one probably has the dumbest characters in the entire franchise. I mean, they make some really stupid mistakes. There's a lot of good kills, like always. Really good carnage. This movie I had a lot of fun with. It's not the best, but the gore is still great and a lot of creative kills. Characters are decent. Like I said, I like the setting, but I also prefer the wood setting. And for some reason, they really get away with that in the last six movies. I mean, the last three out of six movies, they kind of get out of that element for some reason. So, Wrong Turn 5 is my number five. My number four is going to be Wrong Turn 3, Left for Dead. I was debating this one to kind of be in my number six, but after watching five and six, this one is probably better in my opinion. I know a lot of people probably have this one at the bottom of the barrel, but this one is the prisoners. They're escorting these prisoners, and Three Fingers runs them off the road, and there you go. It still has that classic wood setting. It takes mainly in the woods at night, which is good. A lot of these movies are kind of in the day and night, but this one's primarily at night. The thing I have a problem with this one though is that there is terrible, terrible special effects. The CGI is insane in this movie. There's too much of it, and it's terrible. You can clearly see how bad it is. This one really just is around one inbred, and that's Three Fingers. He's kind of the main, I guess, cannibal in the entire franchise. There's some creative kills. The acting is, in my opinion, this is probably the worst acting out of the whole franchise. Um, but there still is some good moments in this. They have the montage of the tower from the first one that got burnt down. That's in there. Uh, Probably my favorite kill is when the guy gets like wrapped around. His whole body gets wrapped around barbed wire, and then like Three Fingers like takes him off in the truck. That's probably the best kill. Have had some fun with this one, but like I said, way too much special effects, and it's bad special effects, and it's probably the worst acting in the franchise. But still had a lot of fun with it, so that's why it's my number four. My number three is going to be Wrong Turn for Bloody Beginnings. This one is kind of tells you, I guess this is kind of the origin story, which it is, but it isn't. It's really, you got the three cannibals that are when they're teenagers and they're in a insane asylum, and then they find a way to break out, and then like 30 years later, we're at present time, and you have these group of kids, and they basically are trying to find a cabin or whatever, and then they end up finding the abandoned insane asylum that you saw at the beginning of the movie. Now, this one is actually a snow movie. This one has snow in it, which is the only one in the entire franchise, and I thought that was refreshing. I like movies, especially horror movies that have snow in it. I don't know why. Like I like 30 Days a Night and The Thing and The Shining. All those have that winter snow feeling to them, and this one has it. Now, the thing I didn't like is that it takes place primarily in the insane asylum. It's not, they're not really outside that much until like the beginning and then the third act. So that was a little disappointing that you weren't able to see the snowy wood element that much. Um, the characters in this are pretty good. There are a couple annoying ones. This one does have quite a bit of gore in it. The ending of the movie, I think, is probably one of the best. Um, so good carnage candy, good gore. I like the premise of it. I like, how they shot the movie. Excuse me. So Wrong Turn 4, Bloody Beginnings is my number three. My number two, this was actually kind of tough. I mean, is it going to be the original or is it going to be the sequel? Um, and I got to go with Wrong Turn 2, Dead End as my number two. This one probably is by far the most gore. This one has the most carnage in all of them, which is surprising, but it does. It has a lot of gore in it. This one probably has also the most cannibals in this one, the most hillbillies in this one. There's a lot of them, and there's a lot of great kills in this one. This one kind of takes the beginning of it's not the greatest in the world. They kind of like try to do this like reality show out in the woods, of course, and it kind of had like a Halloween Resurrection feel. Now, luckily, that does not last that long in the movie. It's only for like basically the first act, and then it stops. It becomes just a regular movie after that. Um, like I said, there's a lot of good kills in this one, uh, a ton of blood and guts, which always is great to see if you're a horror fan. Um, the characters in this are pretty good. It's decently well acted, and this one is kind of like there's this plant that got shut down, and I guess some kind of toxic waste got into the water system, and that's how this family became deformed. So I don't know if this in this movie they're inbred or they just got exposed by the toxic waste. Um, they make it seem like it's the toxic waste, not that the fact that they're inbreds. So it's a little bit of a twist in that sense. The old man in the first one, he's in this one. I guess you kind of find out that he's the father of the family. Um, really good opening, really good ending. I had a lot of fun with this one. This was really close to being number one. Basically, just on the fact that there was just so much gore and blood and guts. But my number one has to be the original, the one that started it all. Wrong Turn. Um, as from top to bottom, this is the best one. A lot of people have this as their number one, and that's for good reason. This one's probably has by far the best acting, has the best characters in it, has the biggest, I guess you could say, stars as well. Excuse me. Um, Now this one doesn't have as much, I guess, kills or carnage in it, which is odd. This one is probably the least bloodiest, and the kills are not the greatest in the world, but overall, it's still a really good horror movie. It keeps you in suspense. It has really good like scare moments where it needs to be. Um, I love this one. Probably also has the best scenery as far as the woods go, and and they do a really good job with keeping the inbreds or the hillbillies, the cannibals, whatever you want to call them. They kind of keep them in the shadow for a good chunk of the movie. Um, Really good third act. Yeah, I mean, there's really not much else to say. I think the first Wrong Turn is probably the best of the entire franchise, and it's actually just a really good horror movie. Um, so, guys, that's my ranking video. Had a lot of fun with these movies. If you like carnage and you like blood, you'll love these movies. It's actually, to me, it's kind of an underrated horror franchise. You don't, a lot of people don't talk about this. Um, you got six movies so far. They'll probably do a seventh. Um, and I just really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. Like I said, it's a lot of entertainment value. And if you want to see really creative kills and you want to see some creepy shit, check out Wrong Turn. I got the collection set, all six movies in uh, one box set. You can get this thing for about 15-20 bucks. So if you're a horror fan, check this out. What did you guys think about the video, and what would you guys rank the Wrong Turn franchises? Let me know in the comment section. Let me know y'all's rankings, and let me know about the video. And please subscribe, and I'll be doing another video coming up soon.